This travel search tool maybe just changed the way you plan and book your travel forever. Imagine a tool that not only finds you the best cash deals, but also helps you maximize your points and miles all in one place. Not to mention a feature that I have never seen in a travel search tool before. Welcome to Daily Drop Pro. In today's video, we will be covering everything this new travel search tool has to offer, starting with an overview of all of its features, giving you a tutorial on how to actually use this powerful tool. I will offer some of my initial thoughts and critiques, and finally sharing if this really changes the future on how we save money traveling. So stick around to find out if this new travel tool is something you need in your life right now. Also, this video is not sponsored in any way. I'm just excited to share a new travel tool that might help us all save money on travel. Let me start with giving you a brief overview of what I believe to be the 5 main features of this travel search tool. Number 1, travel cash deals. This is not a new feature to Daily Drop Pro, as it was formerly known as Fare Drop, but this is a great way to quickly find the best cash deals out there right now. You can set destination preferences, seat preferences like economy or business class, or even preferred times a year you like to travel. But my favorite part of the cash deals is the search bar, which allows you to search for specific destinations to find price trends and past deals to make the decision easy on when to book your flights for that specific destination. Number 2, now we're getting into the good stuff. They have a feature called the wallet. This feature is going to help you organize your credit cards, points, and miles. That way, Daily Drop Pro can help you take advantage on how to best use your points and miles. If you are not currently a points and miles user, don't get too scared, because I'm going to show you in just a bit what Daily Drop Pro has done to make using your points and miles as easy as possible for somebody that knows nothing about points and miles. Number 3, flight point search. This feature allows you to search for flights anywhere in the world using points and miles. The process of booking flights using points and miles used to be so time consuming, forcing you to have what felt like 100 tabs open on your computer, all while still not being sure if you're getting the best deal. Not to mention the complexity of using transfer partners. Basically, if you did not have a PhD in points and miles, this process was way too intimidating to even try. But with one click, you will now get tons of options to use your points and miles for your desired destination. And more importantly, get a step-by-step walkthrough on how to book those flights, as well as how to use those transfer partners. Number 4, hotel point search. Similar to that of the flight point search, this feature allows you to find hotels using points and also just find some great cash deals, including my favorite function of this feature, which is the award availability calendar, which will help you plan your trip to get the most bang for your buck while using points. Feature number 5, the Pro Lounge. I believe this feature might just be the game changer you needed. This is a community space that will allow you to directly connect with other passionate travelers and points and miles experts. If you are somebody that has no idea how to use points and miles, you can ask questions. You will have access to live workshops and education opportunities, a place to stay up to date on the best travel hacks, or even just to find some things to do for your next trip. Really, this is just a great place to engage with like-minded people. All right, let me show you how to actually use some of these features so that you can get the most out of this tool. Let's start with the travel cash deals. This is going to be the feature that I'm personally most familiar with, being that I've used it before because it used to be Fare Drop. Now, when you go into your computer, like I have here in front of me, that's what I'm looking at, you have your search deals page or your cash deals page. As you can see from the get-go, you have right at the top of my screen, you have economy international flight deals. We have, if we scroll down, business international flight deals. And then at the bottom, I have my domestic flight deals. Now, all of these cash deals are going to be based on the preferences that I have set for myself. So the first place I would go to is make sure that you have your preferences set. And to do that, I'm going to scroll all the way down to the bottom where it says not seeing the deals you want question mark, and then right below that they have a button that says edit deal settings. You're going to start by going there. If we start with our departure airports here over on the left, you can see I have my home airport selected, which is Minneapolis. Now, through Daily Drop Pro, I can add up to 10 airports, which I would highly recommend doing so that way you can see the most deals possible, which can be really nice for a quick repositioning flight to an airport that's close by to you. So for example, I'm going to go ahead and add in Chicago O'Hare International Airport. Being that that airport's pretty close to me and I know I can get there on a really cheap flight, so that way if I find a cash deal that goes out of Chicago, I know it won't be a huge expense for me to get to Chicago, but I'm now able to take advantage of all the deals out of Chicago as well as Minneapolis. So I would recommend adding all the way up to 10 airports so that way you can get the most deals possible. Next, you have your destination preferences over on the left here. This allows you to set where you would like to travel. Now, as you can see on mine here, I just have the entire world selected because honestly, I don't really care where the deal is. Most likely, I have places all over the world that I want to travel to, so I want to see all the deals all over the world. But if you have a very specific destination in mind that you would like to travel to, go ahead and select that destination. Below that, we have our deal preferences. You can set things like business class seats, lie flat seats, economy class seats, budget airlines, and flights with stops. And then last but not least, we have our travel availability calendar. This allows you to set certain months that you prefer to travel in. Now, once you have all of your preferences set, the deals will find you. You just got to go to your main page and those deals will populate. One of my favorite features of the cash deals page though is the ability to search for specific destinations. So for mine, I'm going to plug in Minneapolis and then let's do Paris. Let's go all Paris airports. Now you're going to see this page pop up that gives you a bunch of different data. What's really nice about this is this is gonna give you a good idea if now is a good time to book a flight to Paris. You can see right here, $607 is the price right now, and that's pretty typical for economy. It's about actually 9% lower than average. Now over on the right-hand side here, you can see all of the different months. And this is going to be the best rate by month. So that way you can decide when's going to be a good time to book a flight to Paris. Now you can see all of them right now are pretty consistent. If you scroll down even further, you can see past deal notifications. This is going to allow you to see different deals that have happened in the past. You can see about a month ago here, we had a flight price of $388, which is a great deal. You can use all of this data to help you decide if your specific destination is a good time to book or not. Next, we're gonna head into our wallet. Now, I know there's some other resources out there that have a feature similar to this, but I'm gonna show you how this works in Daily Drop Pro, being that this is the only one that I've personally used. So on the left-hand side here on our computer screen, we're gonna go over to the thing that looks like a wallet. We're gonna click on it, and we're gonna initially see right here at the top a place to add cards. Now this is where you're gonna add all of your travel credit cards, so that way in search, Daily Drop can help you get the most out of all of the deals, and that way you're not missing any card benefits. So for now, I'm gonna go ahead and add a card by just clicking on the plus sign. For reference today, let's just add our Capital One cards in. So I'm gonna add my Venture, my Capital One Venture X card, and let's add my Capital One Venture card. Boom, now I have both my Capital One cards added in. It was that simple. Then we can go to our awards location. And this is where we can go ahead and update our Capital One rewards or any other bank that we have access to. So if you have Chase Ultimate Reward Points, or if you have Capital One Miles, Amex, whatever you have, you can go ahead and update those here. Now this is a manual entry. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on my Capital One Miles, being that those are the cards that I entered for today. And I have close to about 90,000, I think, right now. So I'm gonna add in my 90,000 Capital One Rewards miles. And it's pretty simple, just like that. You click on it, you enter it in. We can do that for airlines as well. I actually skipped over that, but you can do it for airlines as well. I have some Singapore miles. I have about 10,000 Singapore miles. So I'm gonna add my 10,000 Singapore miles in. We can do the same thing with hotels. I have about 20,000 Marriott rewards. So I'll add those in. This way you can keep track of all of your points and miles and rewards, because as you know, it can be a little confusing. And the biggest benefit is what you're gonna see in a second is when you go to actually search for flights and hotels, Daily Drop will take into account the miles that you have entered here in your wallet, which is really nice. Next, let's head over to the flight point search. To do that, we're gonna click on the airplane on the left-hand side, and this is where you're going to search for your flights using points and miles. So let's do Minneapolis to, let's keep with our Paris theme. Paris. And let's just do a quick trip here on November 8th. Why not? And we're gonna click search. And from here, it's going to start populating those flights using points and miles. Also, you're gonna see on the left-hand side your filters. These are gonna be important so that way you can filter by points and miles programs that you are part of. So you can see at the top here, they have all the airline programs starting to populate. We have Delta Sky Miles, United Mileage Plus, and then we have our airlines, which can be really nice. We have our times of day that you prefer to fly. If you prefer to do a nonstop flight or one stop, you can even select which aircraft you prefer, if that is something that you care about. But I would say the top two are gonna be the most important, your award program and then your airline. And as you can see here on the center of our screen, we have all of our flights that have populated. Now, what's really nice about all of this is we can also compare this with cash. So you can see here over on kind of the right side, we have our price in miles, and then we have this compare with cash option to see if we're really getting a good deal and if using our points and miles is going to be the right thing to do. Now, being that I loaded in my Capital One miles in our wallets, I know just from booking flights that I can do a one-to-one transfer for Flying Club miles. Now, that's more of a specific detail, and I'll show you a resource on how I know that later here in the video. But you can see here on the top filter, we have our programs, and I can click Flying Club miles. And this flight popped up using Flying Club miles. So to find out if I'm really getting a good deal or not, what I do is I click on the compare with cash option, and you can see that this flight with cash is $1,222 compared to that of our miles price, which is 30,000 miles plus $5. Now, to see if this is really a good deal or not, what I typically do is I will take the price of my flights, which is $1,222, and then I divide that by our miles, which is 30,000 miles. And that's gonna give me 0.04. What that tells me is I'm getting about 4 cents per mile. Typically what I like to look for is greater than 2. So I would say that this is a great deal to use for points and miles. Now, when I'm ready to book using points and miles, this is where Daily Drop Pro has done a really nice job to direct you through this somewhat complex process. So if I'm ready to book this flight, you can see here, I'm gonna click on it, and then I'm gonna see my economy seat, and then I'm gonna click book now. From there, you're gonna get a step-by-step guide on how to book using these points and miles. So if I'm a Flying Club member, you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna start by clicking on this link here, which is going to bring you to the Virgin Atlantic Flying Club member option where you would want to go ahead and sign in. Then you can see here, you're gonna copy and paste all of this information that they've already prepared for you here. So your destination, your departure date, number of passengers, and then your seat. Now, once you've done all that, you're gonna click on the next step. Now, for me, being that I don't have Flying Club miles, I need to initiate a transfer. So if you need to do that, you can go over here to the right-hand side and you can click on Transfer Partners. Now you can see here all of the different options for transfer partners. Now you can see at the top here, I have Capital One miles. You can also see on the far right-hand side, my wallet has 90,000 miles in it. So therefore, I have enough miles to book this flight. Then say I want to click on Capital One miles. I click on it. It's going to do a long transfer, but it's now going to give me step-by-step instructions on how to actually transfer those miles, which can be kind of confusing at times. So I'll log into my Capital One card portal by clicking on the link here that they've already provided. I'll log in. Then what I'll do is I'll click on Redeem, click Transfer Miles, and then I will wait for the miles to show up in my Flying Club Miles account. Say I've done all this, I will click Next Step. I will search the flight on Flying Club Miles, and then I will go ahead and book the flight. It seems like a lot of steps, but it's actually a lot more simple this way than the alternative by having to do all these steps by yourself, finding all the different links and pages and accounts that you need to go to. Daily Drop does it all for you when you go to book the flight using those miles. Now, what's also really nice is they have continued education. So you can see here down at the bottom, they have this Earn More Flying Club Miles points. So say you want to book this flight, but maybe you don't have quite enough miles, or you're wondering how you can earn more miles, being that this is such a good deal. You can go ahead and click on this link here, and this is going to take you to all of the different options and ways that you can earn more Flying Club miles. So you can see here we have our Virgin Reds rewards card, but then you can see all of the different transfer partners. So any of the Chase cards, any of the Capital One cards, or even the Amex cards are going to be great options to start earning you more miles to fly on Virgin Atlantic. Now we have hotel point searches. So we'll go to the little icon that looks like a building. We'll click on it. Very similar to that of the flight point search. You're going to initially see your options and filters to plug in the destination that you're looking for a hotel for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and plug in, let's do Chicago, and let's do a check-in date of, let's just say the 11th, or let's do the 12th to the 13th. You can also search here and filter at the bottom by your whatever chain you want or would prefer based on maybe rewards that you have. You can filter by like I said, your different rewards programs. So whether you have Capital One or Marriott rewards, whatever. And as you can see here, actually, this is kind of cool. As you can see here, I have my Capital One highlighted and then my Marriott's rewards highlighted because those are the two that I've plugged in points in my wallet. So that's kind of cool that it automatically does that for you. But I'm going to go ahead and just click search here, and it's going to start to find your hotels. Let's start over here on the right-hand side. You can see a map. This is going to give you all of your different hotel options based on location, which is kind of how I like to book hotels because most of the time location really matters for me. So I can search by location, which is nice. And one thing I want to draw your attention to here is up in the right-hand corner, you can actually filter by hotel chain as well. So say I'm looking for like just Hilton, I can uncheck everything but Hilton, and that's going to give me all the Hilton options. And I can book based on location just on Hilton because maybe I have some Hilton rewards. Then on the left-hand side, if you scroll down, you can see all of your different options as far as hotels go. You can see the points price, and then you can see the cash price as well. So let's go ahead and click on a random one here. Let's just do this 3-star DoubleTree by Hilton. And I'm going to click in and view that hotel, just so you can see kind of what this looks like when you go to book a hotel on Daily Drop. So as you can see here, initially it gives you some details about the price and the points. You can see the cash price, the points price, and then you can also see the transfer partners as well. So we have Amex, Virgin Atlantic, and Hawaiian Miles. But my favorite feature of the hotel points and miles search is going to be up in the corner here. We have this award availability calendar. And this is going to show you what each hotel room is going to cost via points and cash. So that way you can book nights or you can plan your trip around nights that are going to be the cheapest. Next, we're going to head into the Pro Lounge. So over on the left-hand side here, we're going to click on the Pro Lounge. This feature reminds me a lot of Slack or Discord if you've used any of those before. You can see over here on the left-hand side, we have all of these different channels or lounges. We have a welcome one, say hello, resources, best travel deals spotted, things to do, priority support, pro gatherings. We have travel redemption diaries. We have the newbie zone where you can ask all of these different questions. I'll be very curious to see how this progresses in the future because I think it's going to provide a great space to ask questions and just interact with like-minded people, other travelers. I wanted to show you some of my favorite tabs so far, starting with this resources tab. This is a great place to go to learn more about how to better use your points and miles. I really like this transfer partner cheat sheet that Daily Drop put together. That's linked here in the resources tab. Because as we know, transfer partners can be really confusing and hard to remember. So they developed this cheat sheet that, to be honest with you, I probably look at 2 to 3 times per month because I'm always forgetting. Depending on what travel card you have here, you can see where you can transfer your points and miles, which is really, really nice. The other tab I really like here is this Pro Gatherings tab. This is where they host like online training webinars, basically. Recently, like 2 days ago, I was on a onboarding call that went really well. So I'll be really curious to see how they utilize this resource to train people on how to better use their points and miles. Also, we have up here this things to do tab. This is a really cool spot where people post things to do in different destinations that they've been to. So you can just go to this spot and find things to do in different destinations that you might be traveling to. The last one I wanted to show you is this Ask Anything tab in the newbie zone. This one's really cool for anyone that is new to Daily Drop Pro or new to points and miles. Points and miles and booking travel is kind of intimidating. And if you're new to this, it can feel like you are oftentimes asking stupid questions. But in this space, there's no stupid questions. You can ask a question and you're gonna get answers from other people that have gone through the same process that you have. So I think this is a really cool community building zone where you can really just ask anything. Now, if you want to participate in the community, it's pretty easy. You can go up here to the right-hand side, click New Post, and you can create a post for yourself, add videos, add photos. It's pretty straightforward and easy to use. So that way you can get yourself integrated into the Daily Drop Pro online community. It wouldn't be fair if I did not go over some critiques I have for Daily Drop Pro. So that way you can make a really informed decision on if this new travel tool is for you. Number 1, points and miles have to be added manually, being that they are not automatically pulled from your accounts. This can take some extra time, but honestly, just taking the 5 minutes to do so before you start searching does not seem like a huge deal to me. I am sure automatic points and miles updating with direct linking to things like bank accounts will be an update in the future. I don't see it being a huge deal though, unless you're somebody that is searching for flights and hotels every single day. Number 2, slow load times. It is very normal to have to wait a few minutes after clicking that search button on the points and miles search before you get your flight and hotel options to populate. Which if you're a new user and unaware of this, it can be a little frustrating. But you have to remember that on the back end, there's a pretty complex process going on to get you those points and miles, flights, and hotel deals. In fact, they are scraping about 140 different programs all at once to get you the deals that you are looking for. Number 3, there are so many features that it can actually be a little overwhelming at first. There is for sure a bit of a learning curve with this super powerful tool, being that there is so much it can do. I think the team at Daily Drop realizes this, and they do have ongoing monthly education opportunities through the Pro Lounge that I would recommend taking advantage of if you are a new member. Number 4, it is new. You can tell this new search tool is pushing the boundaries of what has been done. So with that comes a few bugs from time to time. I've been testing this product now for about 2 weeks and have noticed a few little things here and there. But I will say the positive is that this tool is literally getting better every single day. Right now is probably the worst it's going to be, and it's going to keep getting better. They are moving really quickly with this travel search tool to try to make it the only one you'll ever need. The Daily Drop team has been really good about taking feedback from the community. I'm really excited to see the improvements and the updates that are to come in the future. Let's talk pricing quick. They do have a free version that will allow you to try out some of the features, which can be a great place to start. But to get the full use of all the features, you are going to want to invest in the Pro version, which is $149 for the year, which comes out to be a little over $12 per month. So the question is, do I think that this price is worth it? Here's the way I look at it. Say you are somebody that loves to travel and you are fortunate enough to take 2 trips a year. That means Daily Drop Pro costs you about $75 per trip. In our experience, we usually save upwards of $300 to $400 on cash deals using Daily Drop Pro, which used to be FairDrop. Now, with the addition of the points and miles booking, amongst all the other features, I fully believe that $149 is worth the price. I think this is going to change the game for passionate travelers that don't want to spend hours, weeks, or months trying to find the best deals, especially for those that are interested in the points and miles game, but don't have the time or patience to learn all of those details. Or even better yet, if you're somebody that wants to learn about points and miles, you now have a place in a community of people to try and help you do so. I believe there is going to be some growing pains, but right now, this tool is paving the way for a bright future when it comes to booking with points and miles, and just honestly help you travel more for less money. If you are interested in trying out Daily Drop Pro, use the link in my description to get started now so you can start planning that next trip. Also, let me know down below if you are a points and miles user, and maybe even share a points and miles redemption story to get us all inspired to book that next trip. If you enjoyed this video, I would also recommend watching the video that we made on how we traveled around the world full-time for a year with just $15,000 per person. In that video, I go over 21 money-saving tips that you might want to check out. I will link that video below. Thanks for watching this one, and if you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, as well as subscribe to our channel for more content like this. We will see you in the next one.